Hello my brothers and sisters in nerdiness, welcome back to the Spider's Web, and we're starting a new series where we're painting up Necromunda minis. Yes, these are all provided by Andy from Wigan Wargames and RPG Club, and we're starting off doing the Palantine chappies. Now what I've done is I've sprayed them all with this rather sexy kind of Army Painter black primer, and yeah, so let's bring out the wet palette, but first of all, this is the first coat of colour we're going to be putting on it. That's Ash Grey from Army Painter. And we'll just pop a little dollop of that onto the wet palette, get our little flat brush, and give it a good dry brush over everything. Yes. We're doing both of these minis. Now, and we're not just doing this in this video, because we're going to show a little preview of what's coming up. We're going to do the same to this Ambot. And once we've done the Ambot, we are going to be doing this member of the Corpse Grinder cult. And also this member of the Corpse Grinder cult. And once we've done that one, we are going to be also doing this member of the Redemptionists. So once we've got all the grey covered, and I'm making special emphasis on this Redemptionist on the flames because we want them to be as pale as we can, we're going to bring in some matte white. And a little more runnier than we was expecting it to be. The water on the palette was a bit too strong. But we're just covering over most of the grey. A lot of these shadowed areas we're going to be leaving in where the light isn't going to hit. So we're going to do the Palantine Forces. We are also going to be doing the Corpse Grinder minis. And we are going to be spending a little bit of time also doing the Redemptionist mini. And with the Redemptionist mini, as I said, which is this one, we're going to be painting and making sure that the entire area of flame is covered, because we'll be using reds, oranges and yellows on that, so I want them as bright as possible for this flame. Okay, so that's that. So once we've got this Redemptionist mini done, we can put these extra ones to the side, because in this video we're concentrating on the Palantine Forces, or the minis. And here we go. Now we're covering all the areas that we want a different colour in this white. So we're doing the circles on the chest armour, the knee pads and the wrist guards, and the 3 lines on the shoulders on this fella. As you can see, on the back as well of the back panel on the armour. And on this one we're doing the circle in the middle of the shield, that bit on the top middle of the shield, that rectangular part, as we're showing there. The same on the back of it, but we're also doing the circle on the front of the armour, the visor, the little knobbly bits on the helmet, and that's about it really. Oh, and the mouth shield as well. Now I did forget though to do the back of the shield, but just doing that now. So, how are we going to paint this? Well, we're going to start off with hardened leather. This is one of the speed paints. And we're going to put that on the undershirt. At least I'm assuming it's an undershirt. I've not a clue exactly what it is. I suppose it's to soften the fact that the armour is quite hard. So there'll be something comfortable for them to wear underneath the armour. I'm assuming that's what it is. Now we're going with Gravelord Grey. This is another one of the speed paints. And we're doing this all over the armour, apart from the places that we've painted white, and some of the accessory areas like the holsters and things like that. So all the armour gets covered in this because we want a nice black armour. or dark grey armour. Now we'll go to Crusader skin, and this is because this chap doesn't have a helmet on, so we're painting his skin tone. I'm not happy with the skin tone on this, to be honest. I think I should have actually painted his face white, but there we go, we've tried it. Fire Giant's Orange is another one of the speed paints. I'm concentrating at this part on the speed paints. And again, this is not something I was quite happy with, even though it did go over white. If I was doing these again, I would probably paint these silver, these areas silver, and go over with the orange with that. But you'll find out what I'm going to do to make it more to my taste later on. But for now, we're going over all the areas that we've painted white and an orange. There we are. Simple as that. Well, not all the areas. I didn't paint one area, which was that little band on his crotch shield there. Now we'll go with Zealot Yellow. Again, a speed paint from Derby Painter. And this is going to be on the holsters and all the little accessories that you can see attached to the Mini. That's all that's going on. And just touching up with some of the other colours, just to, because I've missed a few areas that I wasn't happy with. Now, so that's what we have so far. So with it being speed paint, it takes a while to dry. So what we have to do basically is wait. And we've waited. While it's dried, or before I started this part, I sprayed it with a gloss varnish, and then I sprayed it with a matte varnish to take the shine off. So there's no danger of the speed paints reactivating. Leather Orange is what we're going to be using now, and we're going to be using this, surprisingly enough, over the areas that are painted with the Speed Painter Orange, or Speed Paint Orange rather. So we'll go over this to give it all a flat coat. In fact, I'm not doing all the flat coat, I'm just painting a certain amount of it, because I want a nice gradient on these. I thought the gradient with the Speed Paint Orange would be good enough at this stage, but I wasn't too happy with it yet again, so you'll see what I do in a moment. Everything's a wait and see game. Well, the thing is, when you're painting, you basically just make adjustments. If you're not happy with something, you make the adjustments so that you are happy with it. That's the whole essence of painting. So we'll do all the parts that were painted orange previously with this orange. This is one of the reasons why I sprayed with the gloss and the matte varnish. It protects it, stops the speed paints reactivating with water, so you can paint over the top. The base is getting a bit loose here, I think, looking at the way I'm holding it. So next we're going into pure red and pop some of that on, and we'll pop this right at the bottom areas, the lower areas of the orange parts, and then we'll try our best to blend this in with the orange, just give it a nice gradient rather than a sharp division line. But we'll go through and do this on all of the areas that we've painted orange. But I'll show you how to do it. Yeah, it was coming loose, as I thought. So we'll just squidge the blue tack down, and we'll carry on painting the reds and giving these orange areas a nice gradient. So I'll swap from red to orange and back and forth and back and forth. There we go. Yeah, it's about the end of what I was doing there. I've gone through and done all of these and made a nice gradient on them. So what we're going to do next is bring out Demonic Yellow. And this Demonic Yellow is going to be like a highlight colour for these orange areas. So pop a little bit there, and the middle of the top of the shoulders, and at the top edges of the knees and wrist pads where the light is going to hit. Now, that's what we're going to do on this fella. We're going to do something we're going to do the same kind of thing. But on this one, you'll see what I'm trying to do with that circle on the previous one's chest. When we do the shield here, I'm trying to make it look as though it's like a curve rather than just flat. So we'd have it so that there's like a V-shape set of lines on it, if you get me drift. Well, a downward pointing triangle of lines. Now this is night scales. This is one we got from Army Painter, as you can see there. It's in the metallic colours range. They sent me this free of charge to review. I did a few videos on these earlier. Now, whenever you see the Army Painter logo come up, that is because I'm using a paint from that particular range. It won't be on every metallic because not every metallic is in that range, but the metallics that are in that range, I'll put the Army Painter logo up so you can see that that's what it is. And this is going on all the metal areas, as you may be able to guess. So all the weapons and whatnot. I did enjoy painting these, I must admit, and this style of painting with the speed paints over like a grey and white dry brush on a black background puts some really good depth into it. Now I'll go back to the speed paints and pallid bone. And this is going on a few of the other bits of what do we call it? A few other bits of accessories. Didn't last long. Going back to ash grey though. And for this we are going to do with it just to like dry brush and highlight up the black armour into like making it look more of a greyish armour. Dark grey, charcoaly kind of armour. But we all want a fine dry brush on this. We don't want to go mad with it. So I'm making sure that it's dried off a little bit. Sorry, not dried off, but all the excess has come off. And we'll just go over the black areas so that all that remains is sorry, not all that remains, so that we're getting the edges and the flat raised areas rather than the depth, the recesses. Now we did a few of these just to try the colour scheme. And I did quite like it, but with the other ones I did the orange with the paints, and I tried it with the what you call it, I tried it with the speed paints on this one and didn't like it very much, so I went back to the painted variant that I did with the other ones. You'll see, now we're going on to Jasper skin, because the guy at the bottom of the screen now doesn't have a helmet, so we're going to have to paint flesh. I'm going to be showing a picture of all the minis from this faction that we've done at the end of the video, so you'll see the entire squad, or squads rather. And yeah, we'll just go over all the skin areas on this. Any areas of recess, like the eye sockets, I'm not painting into those. I'm going to leave them black. And then we'll go into onyx skin. Now this I'm not using for skin tone. This is going to be the hair colour. Yes. I just thought it might be interesting to see what it would like for hair colour. And it looks okay. It's like a nice brown, deep brown colour. Works well. I like it. So now we've got that bit, we're going to go back into the Night Lord, or Night Scales, or whatever it's called, I don't know, the black metallic that we put on earlier, because we have some metallic areas on the back of his neck and the back of his head that we want to do. And now I'm going to rough iron. And this rough iron is going to be covering any areas of metal, just so we can dry brush over later on. It gives a good base to work with. And As you know, I do like this for the base coat for metallic colours. We'll be coming back to this later on because I've got another area that I need to do and I forgot about it at this point. So yeah, we'll see where we go. We'll see where we go. And I just remembered that with the other ones I did that I didn't forget. I'm doing it now. On the base, on the top of the base, is going to be painted with this as well. Yeah, so you saw the line on the crotch shield, as I'm going to call it, because I don't know what else you could call it. That little white line that I painted in the bluey black colour of metallic. I remembered that I did it in this rough iron, so that's why I went over it with this. So yeah, all the bases are going to be painted in this, and we're going to do something interesting with the bases later on. So keep watching, you'll see what I'm going to be doing. Now, it does take a little time to get these bases done, but it's well worth it. Make sure you get everything with this, because you don't need to pick out any details as long as you've got that covered. Now, I didn't show you what that was, but it's plate mail metal. And I'm going to dry brush over the metallic areas of the weapons, just to make them look a little bit brighter. And the rough iron areas that I did on the backs of the armour as well. That's the thing about painting, it's all about working backwards and forwards. You do something, then you go back to it later on because you've either forgot about it or you've missed something with it or something. But again, that's the nature of painting. You've got to be patient. You've got to prepare to go backwards and forwards. So the rough iron on the base is dry. So we're going into gemstone, I think this one's called. It's another one of the metallic ones that the army painter sent me. And we're going into the recesses on this. Not all of them, but on the bigger recesses, as well as the thin recesses though. We're not going into those that have like a grid over the top of it. I'm picking and choosing where I'm putting them, you see, and I'm doing this on all of the minis that I've been given for this faction. I'm doing it, well, not for this faction, for this game. So far, that have these bases, I'm doing them in the same colours, in the same way. So it looks as though it's the same planet, or the same cities I'm working in on the planet, you know what I mean? Continuity. And now we'll go over the raised areas on this with the plate mail metal. Don't worry, I know it's a hive world. It's not going to be this bright and shiny by the time we've finished. Stay tuned. So yeah, all of these minis I've really enjoyed putting together, and I'm really enjoying painting them. As you know, I'm not a big Games Workshop fan. I don't tend to feature a lot of Games Workshop products on this channel. It's probably why I don't have that many views and subscribers, but you know, I'm not doing this as a job. I'm doing this just as a hobby, this channel. So yeah, it's just a bit of fun for me. Now this is where we get fun. Technical paint from Citadel, Typhus Corrosion, and we'll splatter that, not all over, but we'll put quite a bit of this on the base, and you probably know what's coming later. Yes, it's the classic pairing of Typhus Corrosion and Riser Rust. We've got to rust up these bases. Now I'm going to matte black. Back to the painter again. This is a new one for me. Now we'll go around the edge of the bases. That's all we're doing with this at the moment. We may come later to do something else, I don't know. Dorado skin. We're going to be highlighting the captain's face. So I'll add some of that to our palette. but we're going to mix some of the Jasper skin we used earlier, and we're going to make it a little paler using a mix of both colours. And you can see now how good these paints are, because just mixing these two together makes the skin stand out so much. But we're not leaving it there. We're not leaving it there. So we'll just go straight into the Dorado skin now and just add the final highlights while the previous highlight is still damp, and just bring in that highlight so it blends in a little better. I do like it. I do like this paint for skin. It's really, really nice. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Next, the Rise of Rust. Yeah, I made sure the thing was dry, typhus corrosion, and we'll just wipe this all over where the typhus corrosion is, leaving a little bit of the typhus corrosion showing, just to show a little bit of decay and oxidization, whatever you want to call it. But that is really nice on these bases. It really sets the theme for it, makes it a little bit darker, grimier. So if you think this is worth it, you can like this and possibly subscribe. And if you do subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss any future videos. And if you want to help financially, become a patron on just like this chap. Also, we have Buy Me a Coffee you could go with as well. But we're getting to the end of the video. We're going over the end of this gun now with black, and just to make it stand out a little more. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful, and I hope you found a few tips, well, a few tricks that you didn't think of beforehand. And I'll say that's all for now. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, stay safe and take care. God bless, and bye for now.